Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning. So Rhino bucks I haven't touched yet this morning. I actually didn't touch it yesterday at all, which worked out well. But immediately after this call, I will be buying a fair amount. So Rhino bucks is taken care of. I think it's at 263-ish, which is still well above what we were guiding at 255. And I think we have a little bit added to ensure over 260. So we'll see what happens, but that's our updated goal. As for automations, so I saw them go through yesterday on our team call. They are corrected, they are live. Now, what we've learned through the years is we don't know what we don't know. But be that as it may, we have learned enough to kind of have a semblance of what we should know. And I just firmly believe there's still probably some people that got skipped, right? Like if automations were down for an entire week, then we just make them live. Do I believe 100% of everyone got taken care of? Probably not. And that's not a criticism of our team. It's just an observation of this entire process, which means I will be going through the automations today and then manually taking care of whomever was skipped, meaning by the end of today, everyone is fully caught up. So that's my commitment to everyone. Our team call yesterday was amazing. Really, really good. In fact, I want to share the call. I'm not going to yet because I actually sent it over to our investor friend. And I wanted to allow him to know, you're the first one to know any of this. So here you go. We have our work cut out in front of us. Even if somebody said yes to us, it doesn't change what our next month looks like. Our next month is slated, it's scheduled. It does not matter anything outside of the work we have to do. But the call was really, really great. I'm super, super excited about Rhino Friend. It's just, so in terms of AI, it's everywhere, right? And now there's new softwares coming out that allow you to make your own South Park episodes by just typing in stuff, and it just makes it for you. The level of AI is getting really, really high. And it is easy to confuse that there are going to be winners and losers. Now, what I mean by that is ultimately there will be winners and losers, but not when the boom is happening. You see, when the boom is happening, the most valued projects get the most attention, get the most resources. But those most valued projects are also those that, of the owners, of the founders, they're like, I don't want to give too much of my company out. I know I could get money, but I don't want that much money because I want to retain what we're doing. No founder wants to go ahead and do a money raise until at the end of the day, the project is super, super successful and the founder has 0%, right? Then what do? They were just simply investors employee for their entire lives. They don't do that. So what that means is that those super duper duper projects have a certain amount of fundraising they're going to cap themselves at. But because the industry is booming, the investor money is still looking to pour in. So when the investor money can't get the top project or the second project or the third project, it goes down to the best project it sees fit. The point is, if the boom is so large, the question becomes, is the boom larger than the money allocated to the boom? And I think at least for the next 2 to 3 years, that answer is yes. Which means we don't need to be the best AI out there. We don't need to be the best program. We don't need to be the best project. Now, that's not to be confused with us not looking to be the best. But when I see all this new stuff coming out, I'm like, wow, that's super cool. Wow, that's super cool. I can't do that. I have no idea how to do that. But I don't need to. Because what we're doing is a very well-defined lane. No one's doing what we're doing. So if we just stay in our lane and do what we are doing to the best of our ability and constantly make sure that we fully participate in the upgrade cycle and we stay as an industry leader in our lane, then at the end of the day, when the smoke settles or when the dust settles and the investment community or the community at large looks at, all right, these last 3-4 years of AI have been such a boom. Who are the ones that made it? Who are the platforms that are here? Okay, we have this one that does this one that does this, and Rhino that does this. Like, these are the people, these are the industry leaders, these are the 4 horsemen. And that's our goal, right? Like, we know what we want to do. It makes sense. It's down on paper. Now it's just go do it. And a lot of what allows us to do it is not only our track record, not only our resume, but everything that we have written out, to put that all together, throw some special Rhino sauce on it or Rhino dust, and that's the product that we believe we're going to have. So we're excited about that. As we grow, I do want to go ahead and, I don't know if I'm going to find time for this, but I do want to hire a multifaceted individual that could do full coding, front and back, but also in their job description is on the front lines of all the new AI. Because a lot of the new AI is services, right? So for a company that's created a service that allows you to create a movie just by typing in a script, well, that company doesn't make money unless you identify their product as something that you would like to, and you pay them to implement it. You see, the thing with Rhino is we're not a service, we're a platform. The Rhino platform, yes, it offers services, but it's a platform, meaning the individuals that are with us are in our ecosystem. We have our own ecosystem. So when there's products and services out there that we like, we can take it, pay for it, and bring it into our ecosystem, which makes our platform better. So in a real sense, during a gold rush, you could dig for the gold or you could sell the shovels. We're kind of doing both because what we said was that spot over there has all the gold. So let's go buy that land. And yeah, there's gold everywhere else. Fine, fine, fine. But let's set up a shovel shop on that land of gold. And now we're just selling shovels. And everyone that buys a shovel for us gives us money that we then put into our own land. And I guess that's, digging the gold ourselves that we know is already there. In that sense, the AI community, which is intimidating to me, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't keep up with all these people. Look at the stuff and the stuff that's out is not even the stuff that's going to be out. But the way we built the platform was that we don't need to compete with them. They're looking to sell their product to us. They're competing with each other. We're going to be the platform that says, okay, you impress me, I'll take this. You impress me, I'll take this. They'll say thank you, we'll say thank you. So it puts us in a really, really well-positioned spot. So just to share with you what the future looks like and how it's going to develop, that is my commentary on how we're going to interact with the AI community and participate in the upgrade cycle. And I think that's quite important because it's very easy to make the mistake of saying, yeah, Rhino's super great, but they're not as good as this, or this. And that would be correct. Yeah, we don't do that as well. We don't do that as well. But do we need to? Because they're looking to sell their services. We're going to have the money to buy services, which means it does not matter who does anything better than us. We could just buy their service and now it's part of us. And I think that's pretty good. So I like it. But I also, so that's that. Rhino Wealth is exciting. What's cool about Rhino Wealth is we got into something very, very early. In fact, I think at the low point, my portfolio was down like 75%. Now, mind you, it was one option, well, two options, but one position. And now it's down 37%, which is still not good. No one's celebrating being down 37%. But there's also moments in life where things are going well, cool. But what do you look like when things are not going well? What is your demeanor when things are not going well? What is your discipline when things are not going well? What was your conviction when things are not going well? And when things are not going well, are you able to actively and proactively make a decision that is honest and accountable to all of the research and experience that you had? Because when things are going not well, but yet you're a steady hand that's steering a ship and staying accountable to your principles, but more so than that, doing the work to affirm your presumptions and doing it in public, and then just so happens the market, which you don't control, like no one's asking me, hey Anthony, do you want the stock market up or down today, is now falling in line, which means at the end of the day, you weren't wrong, you were early, you got out, maybe a little loss, maybe a little profit, whatever, but the value is, but I saw you the whole way. You were down 75% and you stayed calm. You were able to identify the factors of what we're going through and you were able to navigate those seas. The point being later in life or later in Rhino Wealth, when things are going askew, it allows the individuals to say, let's calm down. Let's think logically. Let's not act emotionally. Let's act logically and let's do the work. And I think anytime in life that you could be hand in hand with someone during rough times, you get to know who they are. And I'm cognizant of that. I don't look to get into rough times, but when times are tough, I appreciate the opportunity to really introduce who Rhino is. And I think we're doing that in Rhino Wealth this week. So I'm very, very, very pleased with that. So I think I'm going to take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from the lives. I was thinking about this, but I think it's a decision that I don't have the option of making. I think it's a decision that I have to have the courage to share, right? Because I have court the following Monday, but that's not the full reason. But I do need to do stuff for court, right? Like I'm not going to not have my children because I had to do a live and I couldn't find the time, right? So that's saying it very matter of factly, but that's not how I thought of it. But when the cards are on the table, that's the bottom line. But before we get to the bottom line, there are things I need to prepare. But I was also speaking to Karcher today. They emailed me asking if there was anything they could do for us, and not to be shy. I really want to get our agency platform going. I just do. So I said to them, hey, you know what? I'm running out of time. I don't have time available to me. If you could give me someone that could work with me hand in hand, building out this agency so I could promote Karcher this entire month to get into the Rhino agency so that every member of Rhino could be a part of the launch of Rhino Friend, that would be amazing. I said to him, the way I want it structured is that anyone that opts into it, it's all of their bank accounts connected to it. Any profits, any sale, anything goes directly to them. They pay you for your $100 a month fee, whatever it is, and then you reward us with our affiliate, like 40% a month. You're happy, I'm happy, they're happy. If everyone wins, that's what I want. And I want to spend more time on that. And I think what gets lost is, the time we spend on this call, which I think is important. These calls are never not going to happen. I don't care if Rhino's worth $1 trillion. I will still be on this call every day, 10 a.m. So period, end of story. That being said, the time it takes to be on these calls is, a half hour, 40 minutes, which it shouldn't. I'm supposed to do 10 minutes, but I can't, blah, 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 blah. And then editing the video takes another, sometimes up to an hour. And then Rhino Wealth comes in which case that's a half-hour call. And I don't edit those videos as much because the majority of the video is education. So it's not like me pausing or me talking about ice cream that maybe some people wouldn't want. So that video takes maybe 20 minutes to edit. So when you start adding that all up, that's 2 to 3 hours. And those 2 to 3 hours is actually, imagine that being 6 to 9 hours that could I spend on Kartra? Could I spend on building the agency? Could I spend on building a launch in 6 to 9 hours? Yeah. So between the court stuff I have to do for next Monday and the Kartra stuff I'd like to do, the launches I need to get out, I think next week, well, not I think, I'm telling you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're not going to have calls, but I'm going to delete the calls the day of, because in deleting the calls the day of, it allows me to send a note. So anyone that was going to be on the call will get that note. Hey, as you know, today's call's not going to happen, but here's the updates, right? Here's the updates I would have shared with you. Because I'm also accountable to Rhino. In no shape or form will I ever say, oh, I got something more important, see you later. There's still an accountability here. So the calls are meant to give the updates. So if you'll allow me to just do the updates via the email notification rather than actually being on the call, I think we hit our goals, right? Like you would get the update and I would have the time. But by no means is that Anthony saying, oh, well, I didn't know this worked out so well, so going forward, we're never going to have calls. Because I actually know that's deeply rooted into the DNA of Rhino. Us being together every day is a big component. So that's that. I want this to be done. It has to be done. It just has to be. We need to keep moving forward, and I need to do better. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't care. I'm goal oriented. If we don't hit our goal, it will matter zero how hard we worked. And I'm unwilling to do that. So just got to work a little harder. All right, so that's it. I'm going to keep it at 20 minutes. I'm going to go. I will edit this. I'll put it up momentarily, and then I'll see everyone Monday. So I love y'all. I really, really do. I'm excited for this next year. I think this is where we always wanted to be. And now it's let's go do it, right? So love y'all, and I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.